for Pelican Products. We are a Los Angeles-based manufacturer. We manufacture protective packaging products as well as portable lighting equipment sold into a variety of different industries. In my role, I'm responsible for all of the work that we do outside of the United States, from sales and business development through operations and logistics. Some of the skills that are needed to get into international business from my perspective is first and foremost an interest, if not a passion, in all things international, from international business to international cultures, languages, people. I think if you don't have that, you would struggle in this environment, because first and foremost, you want to be involved in an area of business that you like. If you like all things international, I think that's a skill set that's needed. In addition to that, and really because of the complexity and the diversity of the international business place, an understanding of people, ability to listen and learn, also the ability to communicate is extremely important. Typically in my world, I'm communicating and working with people who don't speak English as a first language. So first and foremost, I listen intently and work hard at listening to their messages and what their needs are. And then secondarily, in my communication, I'm very pragmatic and very cautious that the messages I need to communicate, I do so in an adequate manner. Along with that, patience. In the United States, we know our culture, we know people, we know how business is done here. Internationally, that changes, and I think patience is a great virtue and a great skill set needed in this environment, because each day you're faced with a different challenge, and one that you might not have a ready answer available. Lastly, and although the scope of my job is quite broad, I'll focus more on the business development and sales side of it. You know, like any business development and sales position, drive, persistence, and a competitive attitude are needed, mainly because it's quite a competitive world out there, and you need the drive and the persistence and a competitive attitude to win in what's becoming a more and more competitive environment. For people wanting to get into international business, education is important. A degree is important, if nothing more than it's the piece of paper that gets you in the door. Sometimes opportunities in the international environment might be blocked if you don't have a degree of one nature or another. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a business degree. I personally don't have a business degree as an undergraduate, but the fact that I had a degree allowed me to get in some doors that I probably wouldn't have gotten into without it. In addition to that, when I talk about networking, it's not in the traditional sense. The attendance of trade shows where companies who are looking to pursue international business, I think is a great environment for students or business people trying to shift careers. It's an excellent environment for them to meet the sort of people that they need, either to mentor on or do informational interviews or just get a better understanding. Realize that at those trade shows, the personnel manning the booth are trying to sell their wares, and they're busy as well. So you have to be strategic in how you pick your times. Maybe towards the end of the show, the last day or the last few hours where things are starting to settle down. Or, you know, if you can contact the people who might be at trade show in advance and just ask them, listen, could I stop by your booth for 15 or 20 minutes just to talk about your job or the opportunities within your company? Those sort of networking opportunities are invaluable when it comes to really understanding what the needs are of a specific industry or a specific company, or the opportunities that might exist within that industry or a company. If you're looking for more information on a career in the international business field, a couple different avenues that I would recommend. First and foremost are the district export councils, reviewing media such as the Wall Street Journal, the Financial Times, The Economist, World Trade Magazine. What oftentimes you need to do, not every company, especially in the United States, is interested in international business and export. You need to find those that are. You need to find those that are aggressively pursuing international business, and you can typically find those companies, as I mentioned, using some of the media that I mentioned. Hoover's also gives you a good example of companies that might be looking for international business growth. And once you find those companies, then you can start diving into who's driving that business at that level, and then, as I mentioned earlier, trying to get a hold of the personnel involved in that and doing a little bit of informational interviewing with them or some sort of mentoring if possible.